66. El centro por la izquierda, Cris en Tarragona. Así. ¡Oh! ¡Gol del Atlante! Porque les guste o no les guste, les cuadre o no les cuadre, Chivitas. El Atlante es su padre y si no, nos vamos a penales. Rodolfo Pizarro anda nervioso, pensaba en mí porque...
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Dia de los Muertos edition of the CantinaMX podcast. Also, birthday of my lovely sister who turns today. Want to give her a big shout out. We'll be seeing each other in a few weeks down in Puerto Vallarta. My name is John Jagu. Glad to have you guys with us. Hopefully, we'll have ofrendas for teams that are no longer with us in Liga MX, namely Pumas, of course, Chivas, and some of the other teams that have won't be around for the Liguilla. We'll talk about that. Talk about a little Copa MX. I also want to get into a story that was in the New York Times in regard to a company in Europe that was able to secure some World Cup broadcast rights. We'll jump into that topic as well. But as we heard, it wouldn't be a CantinaMX show if we didn't do a deep dive on the Chivas. And to help us do that, we have with us out in South Los Angeles, Joel Aceves joins us. Joel, how are you?
Greetings, John. Doing good, Doing good.
Yeah. Glad to hear it, Joel. I was sorry about. I'm sure that the city of Los Angeles is in a bit of a funk for what happened last night in the World Series, losing to the Astros, and not even in it. It was like getting a 3-0 in the first 10 minutes of a soccer game, just not responding. The whole
it was similar to the 7-0. I'm a bit worried about that.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
It was make sure he's.
Yeah, it was more like the Germany. It was more like the Germany game where it was 2-0 after the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, I think 7 minutes and you at that point the game's over.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Daniel Preciado, who is certainly the biggest Dodger fan on this panel. I hope that Daniel is okay. I hope that he emerges from his self-imposed exile and funk. Hopefully he'll. I'm sure he will. He's very resilient and tenacious. Well, I'm sure we'll hear from Daniel later on tonight. But good to have you with us, Joel.
Yes.
Reporting from Los Angeles. We'll talk a little here in a minute with Chivas. But before we do that, we have to also introduce over in Kyle, Texas, which for you folks who don't know is just south of Austin, in the great Hayes County. Talking, of course, about Albert and Chiquis Campa, our technical director. Chiquis, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Doing well.
Yeah, doing all right. Enjoying the lovely weather we're gonna have over the next week. Low 80, low 60s. It's gonna be very nice around here. This is for you folks that don't know, this time of year, late October, November in Central Texas, it is really special. It's going to be very nice for us, and hopefully Chiquis, you won't have a reason not to enjoy it. So we do have you on.
Yep.
Oh, the other thing I want to talk to y'all about is I went to the MLS 2 ATX presentation. I would guess I was going to get audio, but I'm not going to lie, I forgot my recorder. Unfortunately, so I was SOL there. But I did go and I did the gentleman who is the representative of the investment, or I guess the ownership group that owns the crew, who was there to speak to some of the prospective fans, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But let's jump right into Chivas talk as we always seem to do on this show. I can't imagine why. I mean, I don't know why people don't want to talk about
it's
Unión de Curtidores or remember Ángeles, Joel? Ángeles de Puebla.
Yeah, I remember hearing the name.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I was in the 6th grade. My 6th grade class went on like a field trip. It was like a 3-day weekend. We were going to go to it was to go see the pyramid of Tepoztlan, which is up in a mountain. But the nearest place where you could stay, it was this town called Huaxtepec that had like what I would call like a social security resort. That was just like like a resort. They had a pool and a actually had there was like it had some dorms and had a nice Olympic pool. Yeah, it's like they actually had a first division team for a while, Huaxtepec, and they had a nice little stadium there just outside of Mexico City. That was a team that I don't think they're around much at all anymore. But it's just a very varied and random amount of teams that have made Liga MX in the first division. Of course, Chivas is not one of those. Chivas is a team that's one of the originals. We were thinking they were gonna salvage the season by winning Copa MX. They go up 1-0 because Atlante paid the iron price. And unfortunately for Chivas fans, Atlante ties it up, and then Rodolfo Pizarro misses a penalty in the penalties, and Chivas is out of Copa MX, and now their season is officially on November 1st at 11 o'clock. We can go ahead and write down time of death. We can toe tag Chivas for the rest of the year. Joel, my question to you is does that signal now? Are we in the last throes of the Almeida era? Is Almeida about to give his last breath and then lose 42 grams?
I mean, it comes down to, I wouldn't say results, more to his relationship with Higuera. Higuera's just, even though he's the CEO, he likes to micromanage. He likes to act as a GM. So it comes down to that more than anything else.
So the explanation will be, well, Chivas had a bad season, blah 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 blah. But the reality is that the relationship is now strained beyond repair, and it seems like the best move for all parties involved is to just go ahead and go separate ways.
Yeah, and it's been for a while. It's not.
Yeah, heaven
recent.
forbid having success. How terrible success must be for these teams to have to deal with all these egos.
Yeah, that is what it comes down to. I mean, I think just looking at Higuera's track record, he's always has wanted to be at the forefront. He has always wanted to get a lot of the credit. The big reason he paid so much for Pulido, he made that big move happen, but just why he got rid of the De La Torres, because he wanted more say in what happened with the team. So it's kind of the same thing with Almeida now, where he wants to make the big move.
But here's what I don't understand: didn't he hire Almeida, or did Vergara hire Almeida?
No, it was Higuera, but it was more of like he wanted to get rid of the De La Torres.
Well, why can't he take credit for hiring the coach and say, well, see, if I wouldn't have brought him in, this wouldn't happen, and take credit for it anyway?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. It's hard to say, but like on the day-to-day, I just think that's where their relationship strained, just on the day-to-day. And I guess, coaches don't like to be told what to do, because at the end of the day, when it's a bad result, they're going to get the blame,
Right. Well, yeah, coaches get the blame on the losses, and the players get the credit on the win.
Yeah, so if this guy tells them, I want you to line up these players, or I don't want this player, it starts causing problems, which was like, oh man, just the other day I was reading about, I think it was Ben Hacker, because I was doing some research on Joaquin del Olmo. He's the first Mexican to go to Holland.
Right.
And the coach that took him there was Leo Binhacker, who used to coach America. So while looking for research, there was an interview of why he got kicked out of America, and he said because the then president of America told him to bench a certain player, like not to play him. So he played him anyways and kicked him out. So I think stuff like that happens. And then we've seen that happen, and we've seen it with Higuera when how Camoranesi quit, 5 minutes before a match started because Higuera
Right.
goes into the locker room and is probably telling them who to line up or who not to play. So he's I think he's known for that.
I mean, not only did he quit, but Camoranesi wants nothing to do with Mexican soccer after that. I mean, he just and ran away. He's like, enough of this, and he's gone.
I thought he was coaching another team. I mean, I thought I heard his name somewhere.
Oh, I thought that he disappeared. Kind of like what's going to happen to Jimmy Lozano and Chiquis Garcia and Paco Valencia. They got their one chance.
Oh man.
But that's going to be that.
They got their 6 games.
That's right.
Well, Valencia did get 1 season. I think they should have left him.
I mean, in Mexican terms, he almost got 3. Because you got the full calendar last year, and then starting this year. But
John, they should have just let him finish the season, man. I mean, isn't Pumas right back in last?
Yeah, if you're gonna play this bad, I mean, it doesn't matter who's coaching.
I mean, that's just me. I mean, at least write it out.
Well, I mean, and I feel the same way about Chiquis and Jimmy. I mean, honestly, I mean, did anybody think that Puebla or Querétaro were gonna have any kind of chance? If they were gonna do anything, they might be, have a chance of getting like the 7th or 8th, maybe. I mean, for them, really, I mean, the reality is let's just stay out of the relegation zone. I mean, that's really the that should just be the reality for those teams, and for the owners to say, oh no, you have to be challenged for a championship every season. It's just not going to be the case.
No, but I mean, if you're taking a gamble on a coach, the least you could do is give him the whole season.
Yeah, I agree. Well, they probably paid him for the whole season.
Well, they do. Yeah, they do. They pay you.
So he gets at least he gets that. So then Higuera comes out. Says this season has been a catastrophe. Essentially, and nobody is safe. Players, coaches.
Oh man.
So yeah, let's go ahead and drop that threat now, get it out of the way, and then no one will remember it in 3 weeks when nothing will change and possibly the coach will still stay.
Yeah, that's the second time he criticized because he said that ego had gotten the best of the team, And I don't agree with that, but I don't think he should be saying anything.
I got a clip where he says that Matias, there's more time for him on the team.
Hit it.
It sounds like he might give him a chance. That was just a highlight. Here's what he says.
Este proyecto tiene personas y lo he platicado, no está manejado por intereses ni económicos ni mercenarios, está hecho realmente por personas. Por eso nos dolió tanto la falla que tuvimos como grupo, ¿no? Pero hablando ya de Matías Almeida, es una persona excepcional, como pocos en el medio. Tenemos muy claro nuestro proyecto de ciertos años. Al contrario, creo que él por el perfil que tiene, que es un ganador, me considero igual, soy un ganador, me gusta hacer bien las cosas, él es igual de detallista, disciplinado. Hay Matías Almeida para mucho tiempo, tenemos un compromiso con Jorge Vergara, con la afición, de revertir esta situación. Los cobardes para mi punto de vista, los cobardes y los que vienen y los mercenarios se bajan del barco en este tipo de situaciones.
You got to get a little bit of self-praise there.
Well, there you have it. So, just goes to show you that, maybe you should listen to what the man has to say instead of read a report about it. So,
no, I mean,
that right there says pretty much the exact opposite of what we've been saying.
No, John, it's you have to read between the lines.
Oh, I understand that, Juan. I understand that.
And he says, my dad is a winner, but so am I.
Right.
And you can see it right there. He's throwing himself right there back into the fray. But the whole thing about what to me was interesting because he said he said, well, he still has the contract, which is about 3 years left, and he says whoever gets whoever's not on board, he's a coward. And we have been hearing a lot of rumors of
Not just a
Almeida
coward,
leaving.
but he said cowards are mercenaries.
Yeah, so he's kind of saying if Almeida leaves, that's on Almeida if he leaves.
So in another toy, that was nothing more than just a completely a thorough passive aggressive backhanded compliment toward
To me,
him.
hey,
This guy's a great coach. He's a winner, but we got if the weaklings and the mercenaries leave when times are tough, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and don't worry, because I'm a winner too. He said.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was another report from, and this was on ESPN early in the morning, and they were saying that because Higuera lost a bet, so he had to put on an Atlante jersey and tweet it or Instagram it or whatever.
But you wouldn't be able to see it, right, Hoyle, because he's blocked you.
He's blocked me. But so according to this reporter, they showed it to Almeida, and then he said, "Este pendejo y sus pendejadas." That's what they're reporting. So,
Well,
I don't know how much truth there is to that.
To the professionals here at the CantinaMX podcast.
Yeah, so, especially after the drinks start flowing. But
that's exactly right.
But this has been going on for a while, so who knows? I don't think Almeida has gotten any good offers, and if he gets any, it's gonna be from small teams. Those are my best bet.
Yeah, see, that's why I said it last week, and I maintain my position that he will not go anywhere until the end of next season. Because I think Chivas they have a much better opportunity to show themselves, and he has a much better opportunity to showcase his abilities next season than he did this season.
And he's not going to get.
And he's going to have the full season. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm just saying he's not going to get paid. He's not going to get a better paycheck.
No, that he's not. And the only way he's going to go is if he pulls the double, then he will absolutely he won't be hotter.
Yeah, because his stock has gone down right now.
Yeah. And it's a shame because and it's not just him. I mean, just the whole for a good at least the past 3 or 4 seasons, maybe even longer. The Liga MX owners hadn't been firing coaches as much as them. I mean. It wasn't more than 10, 15 years ago where you'd have 18 teams, and by the end of the season, from May to or from July to April, and what I would consider just like the regular season, out of the 18 teams, 15 of them would have a different coach than what started back in April. And for a while there, it wasn't like that. I mean, it's they finally calmed down on that that hasty change the coach as fast. But in this past Liga MX short tournament, there have been eight coaches fired. 8. And there's only 18 teams, and the season's not over yet. I mean, they do it in mid-season. It's just.
That's a risk for Almeida. I think Almeida, he knew going in that Chivas was like one of the top teams in Mexico, and if he did well, he could boost himself up. And then the national team talk came. He could have very well fit into the mercenary category if he would have jetted out, took a national team job.
Okay, so here's my next question.
Does that?
Here's my next question that I will ask. I'll pose a question to both of you. So say he has a so-so season. Mexico has the World Cup. The phone doesn't ring for Almeida in the summer like you thought it would. He's not going to coach Chivas. He's still kind of hanging out in Guadalajara. And then Televisa calls and says, "Hey, why don't you come coach a national team?" Would he do it?
Yes. That was always his intention, when his agent came into Mexico, it was to negotiate. He came right after they had sacked Piojo.
Right.
And that's what he was looking. That was what he was looking to get. And he even tried going after Paraguay, right before they changed coach.
Now, why would he want to coach Mexico?
Get just exposure,
Okay, exposure for what? Okay.
Everything, you know, you play all these international tournaments. You get to go to the
Right.
World Cup.
Yeah.
And then that's the
And
biggest one, the World Cup.
if he has success with Mexico, would that lead to better things for him?
Yeah, I mean, I think his mind is set to be in Europe.
Yeah.
He would like to be in like Italy or Spain, you know.
So he would then use Mexico as a stepping stone to get to Europe.
Yeah. You know, like recently there was the newspaper story from one of the English press when they were linking him to Leicester or Leicester. I don't know how to. There you go.
Leicester City.
Me falla el inglés, el inglés sin barreras. But to me that was like when you just pay, you know, you pay some journal to put the story up, you know, to create some
buzz.
some noise. And I feel that was his agent. That was his agent just creating buzz, saying, look, EPL teams are looking at him, you know.
Right.
And I don't think he would fit into EPL just because I don't. It's not like Pochettino, you know, that played over there.
So you're okay. You would be okay then if Almeida does decently with the national team and then uses that to springboard over to Europe.
No. I mean, my take on him, like if he would stay a long time with Chivas, I would be fine. You know, but
no. But what I'm saying is say he goes to the national team, you know, does okay, and then jumps over to Europe. You're okay with that? You're okay with that with his career path at that point? It wouldn't bother you that he made that he said that he just saw the national team as a stepping stone just to get to bigger and better things?
Yeah, in many ways, Chivas is a stepping stone for him. You know.
Right. Well,
I think as long as he puts in the work, which he's obviously is doing, you know, he's not like he's gonna have to get good results and win. So it's not just being with the national team won't be enough. He's gonna have to, you know, win some good games.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, no, as long as he does his job, I don't mind. The one with I get with.
So why is it then, Joel, that Juan Carlos Osorio was going to do the exact same thing, but that really chaps your ass?
No. See, what bothers me is the rotations. That's always been my main saltiness.
But in your contempt, you go, and not only that, but he's just using Mexico as a stepping stone to get somewhere else, and that really bothers me.
I don't remember saying that, John.
I think I have. I think if we go back to the videotape.
Oh,
you guys didn't like him before the rotation. When he first came on, you didn't like him, and he hadn't.
I'm just. Well, it's not you specifically, Joel, but it's other folks that say, you know, and how dare he use Mexico. So I just find it interesting that you know, why it would be that for one coach it's, you know, it's perceived negatively to do the exact same thing as it would be for another. Is it because that he's been in Liga MX for 4 or 5 years and it seemed like it'd be just a natural progression? Is that the difference there, you think?
That's
yeah.
I'm just talking about you specifically. I'm talking about just like I mean, people. I mean, and you guys have heard it. That people say, oh, you know, and then Osorio's just using this to, you know, just to get somewhere else. But you know, but if, you know, somebody like Almeida did it, I don't think people would have a problem with it.
Well, one of the main complaints with Mr. Ron was that he didn't know the Mexican player well. He didn't know the league. And Almeida's been here a little while, so you know that would be a plus. But I don't know his, you know.
So as long as you pay your dues, so to speak, in Liga MX, then that gives you then the.
Well, get familiar with the league. Get familiar with how things work.
The privilege of. Okay, I'm just asking.
I do think they a lot of fans would take the national team personal, so they want, you know, they're gonna want someone to feel the same way about it as them, you know.
Okay, I was just said, you know, it's just I just found it interesting that those attitudes do exist, and I think y'all are right. I think because of the fact that, you know, if Almeida did and if he does complete the 4-year thing, which, let's just face it, the odds are against him. But then yeah, I think he would absolutely earn. Vasco Aguirre ended up at Atletico. I mean that's a pretty good gig. And he took them to the Champions League a couple years.
Yeah, the first time they had qualified in about a decade.
Yeah, so he, Vasco, I think, I know that they got rid of him, but I think that he could have gone anywhere after leaving Atletico, and he chose to go to Mexico. I think that says a lot about Vasco.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they must have thrown a pile of money at him. So I mean, seriously, they must have just backed a dump truck full of cash and just dumped it on his driveway and said, will this be enough?"
Yeah,
because he really kind of gave up on his. I'm not gave up on his, but put his career on halt to do that.
Yeah, that's where I felt Herrera messed up after the World Cup. I had written an article and I say, you should just leave, leave on the high note, right off into the sunset, and then wait till they come looking for you. Because if you stay, they're just going to tear you down. And it happened as soon as the Gold Cup. I was surprised how many the media, especially Mexican media, how much they were attacking Piojo,
Well, let's not forget that. There were a couple things that the team looked terrible, and there were many reasons why the team looked terrible. To me, the biggest reason was that a lot of them had been playing in 2 months, and you don't do anything for 2 months, and you're going to be rusty. I'm not making excuses for the players. It's just a fact. The whole political tweets that he did, and then pretending like it wasn't a big deal. For 2 weeks or whatever it was. I mean, he just, a lot of, and then of course what he did at the end, a lot of that was self-inflicted. But I mean, the great thing about Piojo is that he's obviously learned from that. I mean, and he has completely. He had image rehab and he's I think he's come out of it better. And I think that he'll do real well, and it wouldn't shock me if he doesn't get opportunities to go down to. He's already had to go down to South America, and how great would that be if Piojo goes to like a Chile or a Paraguay or Ecuador or someplace and just knocks the piss out of teams in Copa America, makes it to the finals. How great would that be?
Yeah, a bit disappointed he didn't take the Chile job when it was offered.
Well, you don't know if it was offered or not. That could have been the agent.
He said it on one of the radio, one of his TV interviews. I think it was before Pizzi. I think they offered it to Piojo.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, man.
Maybe they couldn't. Maybe the money wasn't right for him. I mean, that's a commitment, man. To go.
No, but yeah, at that point, yeah. But at that point, you have to put that aside.
Everybody has a currency, and obviously, it didn't meet his for whatever reason. But you're right, though. Again, I mean, then is what's more important to him, his legacy or working? His lifestyle or his legacy. What's more important to Piojo?
Yeah, the one thing I've heard is that he's Televisa's go-to guy, and so they've told him to be on standby because they're gonna give him the national team at some point again.
But why would he want it though? I mean, that's.
I don't know. Revenge? I don't know, man.
Yeah, to get revenge on that. The last one. Do better, prove himself. Who knows?
Well, I mean, he's obviously changed as a coach. I mean, there's no question that he has elevated his game tactically. I would not hesitate to say that he's probably the best Mexican coach right now.
Yeah, the stats,
Because if they didn't have I'm sorry, Joel. If Mexico didn't have a liguilla, if they just had like a regular soccer season, he would have won champion last year
Yeah, yeah.
with
The stats
Cholos.
are in his favor on just games won and stuff like that. I think he was ahead of Turco,
Right.
and I forgot who was in third place. Could have been Almeida, but those were the three coaches with the better stats.
You know, speaking of Turco, Monterrey's got a pretty damn good team. I saw them play against Santos this week, and I know Santos was playing with a majority youth team, but that doesn't change the fact that the Monterrey was connecting really well. And frankly, they could have won the game for a lot worse because they were just having problems on some of the counterattacks. But they are they're a team that people are going to have to deal with. Obviously, they're in first place.
That signing
Yeah.
for Aviles, that was really good. He's been like a excellent player for them. I don't see how they got him. They stacked the team with him.
Avilés Hurtado, who is going to be eligible to be called up to the national team in Mexico in the new year. He will have spent 5 years at that point in Mexico, which would meet the FIFA requirement. And late word today, here Thursday, before we taped the show, there was news that Beckerman was going to see. Now you said that's the one guy you can't you can't anglicize his name because it just doesn't sound right. You know, it's respectful. So you have to call. You said
It's rather interesting.
Beckerman. Beckerman. You can't call him Peckerman. I mean, come on, come on, Chiquis. It's not right.
Me estoy avergonzado.
No. So Beckerman apparently is going to call him up. So and then people and somehow it's Osorio's fault that he still has to wait. Whatever it is, 2 or 3 months.
There's a Federativos too, where they.
But there's
look into that.
there's nothing here. If the other guy, if Colombia calls him up, the Colombia calls him up. Ya se acabó.
No, I know, but I wouldn't just place the blame on the manager.
But there's no blame to place. Period, is what I'm saying. But people,
yeah, no,
of
I
course,
agree.
have to blame.
I agree, but I'm saying if you're really looking for, if you want to blame someone, then blame the Federación. You know.
Why?
Because they're the ones that have to look out for the interest of the club, of the team. I mean, so if you see this player that you think he's going to be good, even in the long run, you still go and you talk to him. You see how he feels about joining the national team. You don't leave it up to the manager because the manager could be gone the next week.
Right. No, I mean, I understand that, but I mean, I don't necessarily agree that you have to like actively recruit a guy.
Well, I mean, I think for like a foreigner like that, I would. Yeah. I would just to fill him out, just to see what he thinks about it,
Meet me in the corner of Insurgentes and Avila Camacho.
No, but that's how they've especially with players that have dual nationalities. That's how they've done it. And when you see players that end up choosing like the U.S. over Mexico, and if you see interviews, and they say that was one of the things that
they made me a better.
Yeah, or just they made them feel like they were going to be part of the team because at least they were meeting with people as opposed to you never heard anything from the other camp. Or then they feel like, well, if I don't take this opportunity, I may never get it again.
So say just across the board, they need to change their strategy.
Well,
as opposed, which is, I mean, the strategy right now is don't do a thing, don't do anything, and you're suggesting, hey, Why don't you at least ask the guy if he's interested? If down the road, if it's a possibility, would you consider it?
Well, yeah, especially with really good players, and
then nurture it from there. So you would say they do that, you would be totally okay with Aviles Hurtado playing for Mexico in the World Cup next year.
Yeah, wouldn't be the first time, John. We've had Ciña, we've had Franco, and
I
with
know that.
9-9, and with 9-9 rule, we're gonna end up in a World Cup or two with.
These guys came out and expressed interest, though. Like, I wouldn't go out. I wouldn't be the first one. It's sort of like a boyfriend girlfriend thing, man. I wouldn't be the first one to go out and say, "Hey, man, you want to join you have any interest?" It's sort of like you're desperate and stuff. And I would.
No, that's
like a senior.
That's like feeling someone out, though, man. It's like flirting. You flirt with them to see if
want to come.
What you do
is that you slip them a little note that says, "Hey, you want to play for Mexico? You have a box, yes, and a box for no."
Maybe.
Have them mark it, fold it up, and then leave it and leave it in your locker, and that way they'll know exactly what's going on.
Exactly. Wait for him to go out to the press and say, "Yeah, I'd love to play with Mexico," or "Yeah, and then go, "Okay, I heard you said this, and let's talk," or whatever.
No, but there are players that are coveted, so then you at least wanna, and then the player too. They don't wanna ruin their career. But I don't think you could ruin if like Aviles, if he's already in Liga MX and he's gonna be like a mainstay, then he won't. It would just improve it.
Right. I mean, I absolutely understand where you're coming from, but to me, there's no. I mean, I know what you understand, but I mean, if he's having a good go around, and he could say no to Colombia too. I mean, there is that.
Yeah.
And it's not like Osorio and Aviles Hurtado don't know. I mean, he played for Osorio when Osorio was coaching in Colombia, so they obviously know each other. And from what I'm led to understand, they actually have a pretty decent relationship. So
Osorio is Colombian, though. He might not want to do that to his motherland. Take one of its sons away. He probably won't be welcome back.
There is that too.
Yeah.
To which, I was slow on the draw, but we do have a response to that.
No bueno.
So there you go. Man, Joel, what a downer, man! You just totally took the air out of the whole podcast with that.
With what?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just saying we kind of hit a lull, here at with a good opportunity to switch topics. The coach that did get fired this week was Chacho, and just like Miguel Herrera, I mean, how could you take Chacho go that seriously with that haircut? So, I mean, I'm being dead serious. I'm telling you that goofy ass haircut cost him a chance to play out the whole season.
Yeah, but supposedly it was over wages. Supposedly, Cholos hasn't been paying wages. Find it a little difficult to believe,
Yeah, I mean, don't they own a casino? I mean, don't people come and just give them money? Yeah, they're in the business of people just volunteering cash.
Tecata caliente. So I don't know, man.
I mean, their stadium is right next to a racetrack, is it not?
And there's been sometimes where it's like, it might not even be that they don't have money. It's just that sometimes I've seen where like the club will be like, we're gonna withhold wages until you guys start playing good. And one of the rumors that was going by was that the players' reaction to that was to throw the game against Chivas.
Do you believe that?
I don't know, man. Anything's possible, Liga MX. I've seen a bunch of stuff. Who knows? Who knows?
That is, but the news I did see today, and then again, this could be agent talk as well. But The rumor has it that they want Jurgen.
Klinsmann or Dam?
No, Klinsmann
For
to be their coach.
didn't they appoint someone already? I thought they had some other Argentine already.
No. But they haven't appointed. I mean, it's an interim, but they want.
Oh, interino.
They want to bring him in. They want Jurgen.
They just want his name. I don't know. It would be interesting.
Doesn't he live in Newport Beach?
Yeah, I don't know if he stay here, but
I mean, which is what, an hour and a half from the border.
he'll bring a lot of German Mexicans from
That's right.
from the military. There's bound to be a few if you look for them. If someone could find them, it'll be Americans of Mexican descent, so from Germany.
I think it'd be really cool if Jurgen coached in Liga MX. Honestly, I like it a lot.
Well, yeah, it would be interesting to see what he brings to the table. I don't know. I don't know much about his tactics, you know.
Oh, who cares about his tactics? Like you said, it's just a name. You know, I mean, Jurgen to me is probably a little like Tuca, where his tactics are, "Hey boys, what do y'all want to do today?" Or you know, I think he's more of a player's. Well, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think he's more of a player's guy. Jurgen. I think that Jurgen is the kind of coach that does better with veterans than with like young players that need to be coached.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had any offers, has he? Like since.
No, but I mean, it's because he lives in Newport Beach. I mean, if he lived in Munich, he would probably have offers. But you know, he's living his anonymous life in Newport.
It looks like Dan survived the Boda Azul.
Yes, I survived. Good evening. Good evening, guys.
Daniel Preciado joins us from.
Yeah, I'm a little under the weather, so. But yes, licking my wounds, as Joel mentioned.
Oof. I don't know what to say, Dan. I really don't. I really do feel bad for you.
I personally find it worse to get that far and to come up just short. I'd rather not get there.
But now, at least, I mean, was it like, you know, at the very least, I mean, at least it wasn't like a 10th inning gut wrencher, you know.
You know what?
At least it was over in the second inning. You're like, okay.
I thought it was over after was it game? Was it game 5? I believe.
Right.
I thought it was over then. So the acceptance was kind of I had already accepted it by Tuesday, so I felt like most of this week kind of felt like playing with house money almost.
Well, the reality is that I don't follow baseball that much closely as I used to.
Neither do I.
But holy smokes, that was just incredibly entertaining. And I can't remember seeing just so many crazy little things that happened in all those games. It was just nuts.
Yeah, I agree with you, John.
Yeah.
I'm not a baseball fan, but it was an entertaining series.
But you're right, though. It seemed like Dan, like when a team absolutely had to have it more, Houston always seemed to come up. I mean, I thought it was just incredible. I mean, they just got clutch hit after clutch hit and big, but the Dodgers did too. But Houston just got the one more. It was nuts.
It was a great series.
Yeah.
It's odd, like considering how many runs were scored and how many home runs were hit. But you look at the averages, and at least for the Dodgers, they collectively they were quite poor, and they lacked a lot of time to hitting, especially in that last game. I mean, I don't know how many runners are left stranded, but them's the breaks, you know. That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you could join us.
So now I guess I get to get back into 100% back into soccer mode.
That's right.
Which I was simultaneously paying attention to the Santos game, and I believe they lost 4-1. So
They got
Yay.
they got
double
spanked.
whammy.
They got
Double whammy there.
they got spanked pretty good.
No bueno.
Yeah, so just a rough night for Dan. Rough night for Dan. So we'll we'll go ahead and put the kibosh on the
Wait,
baseball talk.
he needs some sad flute for that.
I wasn't gonna do the sad.
It's been a sad flute season. That's gonna be my welcoming jingle now.
That's oof.
I wore black today
I would have too.
for all those Dodgers
you,
that are suffering.
Sad flute.
Did you play your Morrissey playlist to the office and back from the office?
I had Unlovable on a loop.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Listen,
the self-loathing was strong today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least it hasn't come out like a Lady Santo or something like that. Like
Lady Santa. Ladies.
Oh, like
just recently, Pumas,
right.
the Rebel came out with their little wine session. So the actual
Cada torneo lo mismo. Duele porque
see the clip of the Pumas
Speaking,
Rebel guys talking to Gallardo and two other dudes. It's pretty interesting.
hey,
Oh, is
Cruz
it?
Azul. I was telling you guys if they lost to Tigres, now they're going up against Morelia. Another defeat, and Cruz Azul could be on the outside again.
You know, I was hoping Metalero would join us tonight because I really wanted to get into some
He said the pain's been too real.
Cementero talk.
¿Y la Cruz Azuleó?
But yeah. Speaking of Cruz Azuleadas, did y'all see? Kike McConaughey's gonna get mad at me, but did y'all see what happened to River Plate?
No,
No,
what,
what-
in the Libertadores.
They were up 3-0 in the first leg, and let's just say they didn't advance. And so they lost to, of all teams, Lanús. So Lanús is in the Libertadores final against Gremio.
What, and someone was talking about, because I'm not sure, I think it's still River Plate's coach, Muñeco Gallardo.
Right?
So he's another guy that's being mentioned to come to Mexico. Gallardo is landing some team, and Caixinha as well seems to be headed back. He's being linked to Cruz Azul now.
I wonder who. See, I also saw him linked to Cholos, and sadly saw him linked to Pumas, which I think would be a terrible mistake.
Caixinha to Pumas?
Yeah.
Who would you like to see, John?
I'm not sure Caixinha would be successful anywhere he went. I mean,
Oh,
I'm not totally convinced that he
anywhere there wasn't Santos?
No, honestly, I'm not totally convinced that he was like the miracle worker behind it.
He just got lucky.
I think there might have been an element to that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they made the tournament in 8th place. They beat Tigres on a fluky goal, and then of all things, Chuletita Orozco scores a first half poker. Seriously.
Yeah.
Then they smacked my Chivas around too.
Let's keep everything in perspective.
No, Dan, I agree. You know how I seen happen similar? Some Chucho Ramirez with the under 17. I think he got lucky in some respects because he was never able to do anything after that. That was like his one good tournament, and then after that he just failed.
Well, then I actually think Caixinha would actually be okay for Cruz Azul, but a place like Pumas needs
players.
I'll tell you. Well, they do need that, but Pumas, in order for Pumas to be where it needs to be, is they need to get their youth thing going, because they cannot compete otherwise. I mean, they cannot compete. So I know.
Have they made any changes to that, to their youth system recently?
Well, they haven't, but it's a lot like when Darryl Royal was coaching here at UT, and he had unlimited recruiting. Like you'd have as many guys on his team as he wanted. Basically, I mean, he never had like 400 guys on his team. But when things started going south for him is when the other teams started catching up. They were, they asked him, why are you struggling this season? It's because of those two kids that beat my ass. Last year they'd be on my bench. That's why they're beating. That's why they're beating us. And I think that's what's happening in the Pumas. I think that where they used to get every player, every decent youth player, there's more competition. They need to step it up.
Maybe they need to start looking in undiscovered areas. I'm sure there's plenty still.
Absolutely. I mean, there's. I'm sure that. I don't know how many. I'm sure the majority of the Pumas players are Mexico City. There's anything wrong with that. I mean, it is 1/4 of the country as far as population, which is unbelievably scary if you think about it.
Yeah. No, I do think. I mean, they just need to improve their scouting.
Right. They need to bring exactly.
Who was it? I think was it Al that posted that article? It was an old article written by Tom Marshall, highlighting Pachuca, how they started improving their youth program, and he said how they had to scout kids from 10 years old.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And a lot of their players that are doing good now are players they had since they were 10. And but yeah, that's probably what they need.
Did they discuss where they're looking, or is it just locally?
Everywhere. Dude said how they
the Mexico and the U.S.
Even in the U.S., and it was funny the comment he made about the U.S. players. But yeah, they got scouts all over the place because they're too expensive once they get older in age. So at 10 years old, he said that's where the price is lower, so that they can develop them and of course grow and.
So it's
he was saying he couldn't
investment.
Well, he was saying they needed to go as far down as 10 because, like the older kids wanted to go to like the more known clubs,
So they're probably already scooped up by then.
Already divas.
Yeah.
I believe the word you're looking for there, Dan, is divas. They'd already be divas. The divas at 12.
I thought you said Chivas. I was like,
no.
oh, wow.
No, but that's what's happened to Pumas is that they're just, where they used to have that entire market locked up, now they have competition, but their entire, their the essence, their core, who they are, their identity for Pumas is bringing in the youth players, and I mean, I've been talking about this. We've talked about this for years. That 5 years ago we said, hey man, there's nobody coming up, and this is the result of that.
John, does Pumas have a team in Liga de Ascenso?
They do not. They used to have Pumas Morelos.
Well, yeah,
but
because look,
it's the same thing as Chivas. You're exactly right.
Yeah. When they had Tapatio, even going way back to like Chivas Tijuana, so they would send a lot of the players, and the team from 06, when you had all that when you had a big chunk of them were canteranos, but a lot of them had gotten good experience playing in Liga de Ascenso. They had spent a couple years, so they were more prepared than when you have them playing youth tournaments or under 20 league, and then you throw them into Liga MX with all these experienced players, and then they end up not doing so good, taking longer to adjust. Yeah, man, that's what you guys need, man. Get that Liga de Ascenso team going, because you have up to 10, 15 players getting regular playing time.
Well, Liga de Ascenso also needs the teams, to fill out their schedule. So they have like 7 teams in Liga de Ascenso, right? I mean, it's not that many, so might as well start throwing the.
You guys
the reserve squads there.
You guys gotta listen to this clip. The Lady Puma, she talks about the foreigner.
Hit me.
It's only part of it because there's other dudes that are talking as well. But listen, check this out.
Se los agradecemos. Pero ¿dónde están los pinches extranjeros? Nada más vienen a jalar el dinero de aquí. O sea, ni pantalones tienen para venir, no salen corriendo como las ratas. Eso no, muchachos, porque los hemos apoyado en todos los estadios de todo el mundo. Y pregúntenle a David y pregúntenle a Landa. Con todo nuestro apoyo, pero compañeros nuestros han muerto en las carreteras por seguir a este equipo y seguir los colores, y no se vale. Lleven el mensaje. porque nos los vamos a encontrar esos cabrones.
She's complaining about the foreigners just not hustling.
They haven't done a thing. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, Guerrón has been awful. Awful. I mean, it was a terrible signing to begin with. They have a couple of Chileans that, frankly, I don't know what purpose they serve, what their role is.
Is my boy still on there?
Who's your boy?
What's his name? Ravelo.
He's like the guy that drives me the craziest.
So he's still in the squad. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you like that? Do
Mostly.
You like that, do you, Dan? He doesn't do, and he literally doesn't do anything.
He didn't do anything for us either. So
I don't know how he's getting. None of that, but he's starting. It's so frustrating. It's like, why is this guy? Although he hasn't been starting as much lately. Yeah, but he's just.
I don't know what he does. I don't know what his purpose is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his purpose apparently is to wander around the field and then miss sitters. That's what he is. He's the sitter misser. He's the left sitter misser. That's the position he plays. No, it's been extremely frustrating, and more so. At least the bulk of the team is the youth player, but it goes to show you how horribly coached or how little talent they have if it's a majority cantera team and they're in dead last place. So they obviously have not been producing the talent that, frankly, Pumas has it is what their reputation has been built on for 2 or 3 generations. And it's just not there anymore, and it's a problem. It's not just a problem for Pumas. It's a problem for Mexico.
I think that's where teams like Santos and Pachuca are chomping at the bit to I guess, replace those types of teams.
Well, I mean, and that's fine that they can do that, but there's no reason why Pumas. I mean, again, it's a country of 100 million people. I think they can find talented kids.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just think that when it comes to, as time goes on, kids are going to be leaning toward teams that they feel are going to provide them the best opportunities.
Right.
And I don't know, at least by like the most sexiest of teams right now, especially right now with their boy shining in at PSV.
They are, yeah. As far as for kids that are concerned, you're absolutely, absolutely. And I will tell you, Dan, I did watch part of the, because I'm not gonna lie, I watched the World Series, but I couldn't bear to watch when the Dodgers were batting because I was just getting so nervous, and I was getting mad at myself. Like, why am I getting so nervous? This is ridiculous. But I just so
I was in bed for 2 of the games, and I angrily turned it off right away and just like turned over and closed my eyes for Game 5 and Game 7.
Yeah. Did you hate sleep?
No, sleep was welcome, man. I just wanted to. I just didn't want to feel the pain, so I'm just like, I just hope I'm able to go to sleep soon, and I wake up and it doesn't feel.
Dude, I feel for you, man. It's I mean, that was yeah.
But luckily, the team that I follow the most, that's closest, dearest to my heart, is made me more than accustomed to disappointment. So here I am. I'm back discussing Mexican footy. But yeah, no, the Mexican national team, I think, has provided me the biggest of heartaches. So I think all these other ones they're minor. Like the first cut is the deepest. Is that how the song goes?
Sure.
One day you'll be one day you'll be like Joel, and it won't affect you at all. You'll be all starred up and all hardened.
That's right.
That's right.
So Joel, we're not necessarily peeling back the layers of the onion for you. We're cutting through the scar tissue.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It's.
I understand.
Así pasa.
I understand.
Así
Now,
pasa.
I will say, Dan, that the youngster did play last night, Cisneros, and I like him. He tries stuff.
What do you mean, like shots on goal? Like
he's
this?
Not,
like
yeah.
he looks for an
he tries
and takes it.
Yeah, he tries things. And he's not just a guy that is just sit there to be a target or to be a finisher, just someone who que cierra la pinza and that's it. No, he tries stuff. I was like, man, he almost scored a spectacular globito. Spectacular. It ended up hitting the top of the crossbar. I was like, God, that would have been just an incredible. It was a really tight angle. It was, and I was like, damn. It's like, what a smart thing to try, and it almost worked. Yeah, exactly. He just has. That's if they can develop him, he's going to be good. Very good.
I noticed that on a couple of I'm they're tough. He's tough to catch sometimes, but the times I have seen him, I've noticed that as well. That he's just ambitious with it, with the stuff he tries, which I think that's great. Because I think all too often we see our strikers, and maybe I'm exaggerating, but at least I feel that a first touch strike is unheard of. They need to control it. They need to allow the defense a couple extra steps to close the space, and then they like to kick the shot straight to the goalkeeper.
That is the first touch thing is my biggest qualm with Liga MX. Is the extra touch when you can shoot. I see it more in league. Well, there's another league where I see it just as much, which is MLS. But in Liga MX, it's just please, can you just one touch it at the please.
Yeah.
I will say that's the one thing that I have noticed that has changed in Chucky's game is that he is not like trying to break the net when he shoots. He's just trying to get it in the net now, and he's placing instead of shooting. And I think there's a time and a place to shoot, but most of his goals have come from hard passes in the net, and he was I don't think he had that discipline before he got over there. So that's if that was the first thing they showed him, it was a great thing to show him because he's obviously having a terrific season over there. I mean, we can't discount.
I also think it takes calmness, because I think I kind of see what you're saying. I think you just kind of have to be cool-headed and pick your spot as opposed to just losing your brain and just blasting through it.
I mean, that goal that he scored, even in the goal against Trinidad and San Luis, he did the exact same thing because it was a textbook PSV play where he came crashing in the side, the ball was there, and he could have killed it, right? Just sent it as hard as he could, and he ended up just pushing it into the back of the net. It was a pass into the net.
Ya me voy, que me pegan.
¿Ya te vas, Joel?
Sí, antes de que me peguen. Vaya, hasta la próxima.
Later, man.
All right, late.
Later on.
Thanks, Joel.
Yes.
Just a little taste, Joel, before you go. A little taste. All right, Joel, have a great night. Thanks for joining us.
That's like the Luis Suarez and Chicharito sort of mentality that strikers have or goal scorers have. That a lot of players, Chucky, I don't see it too much, but want to have a perfect, comfortable, high percentage type of shot with their strong foot, and that's what screws them up. Instead of just like toe poking it or doing whatever with your cleat or something awkward, and that's what a lot of Luis Suarez types of goals are, and even Chicharito.
That's fine. I mean, and that's their style. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it goes. But that was kind of my point about Cisneros for Santos is that, he can do that, but he also, he actually wants to individually try other things. He's not just there to to clean up or to finish or to head the ball in or whatever it is. And so that's where I think he has a lot of Raul Jimenez is kind of the same way, and he had a chance to score a goal against Manchester in the Champions League, and it ended up hitting the post. It was like just really unfortunate.
It's like almost it's emblematic of his entire career, right?
Yeah, it's just
almost brilliant.
Exactly. It's the you couldn't have placed that any better for him. Just disappointing season.
Kind of say that for a lot of them that are over there this season. It's been not the greatest, but I mean, what is it? Hector Herrera got a goal this week.
You know, I don't understand what goes on with him at Porto because he doesn't play for spells, and then when I see him playing, he's wearing the captain's armband. So it's like,
Yeah, that's a bit of a mystery. I don't see how you can be on such a. You figure like if he's captaining, then he's got to be pretty important to the squad, but not important enough to start every match.
exactly,
It's a bit of a head scratcher for sure.
exactly. And the one who has obviously cashed it in is Carlos Vela. He is. I'm sure he's on. You know, when he's at home. At home, he's perusing the Pacific Palisades MLS listings.
He's checking out Redfin.
That's right. To see where his next house is going to be, or down in was it Hermosa Beach? What's the real nice beach town? Is it Manhattan Beach or Hermosa? Or are they both just
In LA County? Palisades, going up like just
oh,
above Santa Monica is like where it gets I guess super fancy,
oh really?
expensive. But Hermosa Beach is still
Oh, it's right. Hermosa, what they call that, South Bay.
yeah, part of the South Bay.
So and everything like all the super fancy stuff. Like I guess, but Malibu would be geographically incompatible for him though, right? I mean, you can't go all the way out there because they have to go to the Coliseum. That's gonna be what, a 2-hour commute.
It's true. Yeah, as far as commute goes, but even you're still that whole area of the South Bay. You're in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of hard to reach freeways from there, but maybe him and Gio can fly, can take a little chopper.
That's right. Take the El Chopper. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Although they're going to be driving different spots. So for Gio, it would make sense to live over there because he would have a very short commute to the StubHub Center, whereas Vela is like 20 or so miles to the north of that.
Oof. So Vela's gonna have to live downtown then. It's gonna be his only.
I think he should find himself a cool little loft in downtown. I think that's just probably his best bet.
You should be his real estate consigliere.
I can help him for sure.
Yeah, I think you will. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, honestly, the way he's playing, I mean, I don't know why anybody would even consider calling him up.
Is he even playing?
Exactly. And when he does play, it's very like and the reality is that with Lozano and Tecatito, you kind of don't need him.
That would be some karma for him not to be called to the World Cup after turning down the national team all those times.
He's gonna go.
That'd be hilarious.
He's gonna go just because
he's an option.
I think this summer showed us that there's not a whole lot of depth, and I don't think the team is in a position to get overly picky with their options, especially in any position actually. You need to have everybody there available that's talented, and just hope that they perform because there's just not a whole lot of options. If somebody goes down or if somebody has like some random thing come up where they have to bounce, it leaves the team short. So
and there's going to be injuries. I mean, that always happens. There's always one or two injuries.
Tecatito was missing last time. It's always somebody, So yeah, you're probably right, John. We're probably not going to see the dream squad that we'd all like to see.
Yeah, the 2014 decision, whoever's decision it was, and I think it was a mutual decision to not play in the 2014 World Cup. I mean, it was like, he was he was playing at a world-class level. I mean, it would have made an unbelievable difference. And so there you go.
But as far as those guys are concerned, I mean, I get it. He's not doing great, but same thing's going to be with Gio. I expect both of them to be in the World Cup, unless somebody brand new comes along and takes over. But I don't see anybody doing that. Not in 8 months' time.
I did hear that Osorio was very concerned about how on earth we're going to keep these guys in rhythm when they're going to be off until February or March. So it would be very interesting to see what happens. And apparently the whole America thing that we dreamed up here, apparently that is not an option. Which I say never. So
Did they elaborate as to why it's not an option, or
specifically
as far as like
because there's not room on the team and blah blah. But I mean, they can always make.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, that's one of those deals where someone's going to get a phone call and say, "Oh, hey, you're going to have Giovanni and Jonathan on your team next year, or for the upcoming season. Just go ahead and just prepare for that." You know, that's a decision that gets made above the normal level of pay grade of decisions like that. So.
Yeah, I just figured that the teams would probably want to block any kind of moves that would.
But I think
their player from injury.
Yeah, but I think it would. I mean, the Galaxy would actually. I think, aside from that, I think that's a move that they would actually welcome because if Gio and Jonathan come back to their team with any kind of World Cup fire, in the summer months, I mean, that would be outstanding for them.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they're also designated players, and there's that. But they did do it for Beckham, so.
Yeah, I guess we'll see, but yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame how it's panning out. But watch us just have a real good World Cup, just because because all logic says that we shouldn't.
Now, a player, Dan, that apparently is on the list to be called up is your boy Omar Govea out in Belgium.
Yeah.
He plays for was it Excel? I forget the name of the team. Royal Excel, and it's
Microsoft.
It's not Microsoft, no.
PowerPoint.
Excelsior or something like that? Is that no?
It's Royal Excel something.
And it's the name of a town. I'll find it here. But anyway, no. So,
but yeah, I heard
called up.
Rumor has it, that he's gonna
Excel
get his shot.
Moscron or whatever that's.
Moscron.
Yeah, he's gonna get a shot. I think. Good for Osorio. I think it's a position they definitely that's shorthanded.
I mean, Marco Fabian isn't even going to play the rest of this year, or the rest of this calendar year. At least he's going to get back to it in January.
And he's doing really good. Like, he's getting goals. I mean, not any kind of goals from his position is pretty good, but apparently he takes some pretty good free kicks. So, yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I don't think you should shut the door on new players, especially considering, how we just finished talking about some of these players are going to be walking in there in either like no form or terrible form. So yeah, it's good that they're still keeping the options open for someone who.
Yeah, there was some other cat whose name I didn't recognize at all. They were in call. I was like, "Who the hell is that?" So I apologize to our audience for.
Do you know the name now? Or
no. It was a report I was watching on Univision Deportes, and. I did not see or I did not remember the name of the guy. But the other big news was that they weren't going to call up the Victor Guzman from Pachuca, despite him being the leading goal scorer in the league. It's like let's not have that guy on the team.
Well, clearly we have enough goal scorers.
Yeah, if there's one thing Mexico is known for is their ability to score goals in tight games.
Uriel Antuna.
Was that the guy?
Is that the guy you're talking about?
Oh wow, he got called up?
No. I don't think it was Antuna. Well, I don't think it was Antuna.
It seems like he's getting the call out too.
Damn. Well, that's good because we liked him, don't we? Dan, was he a Santos kid?
He was. I just surprised because I haven't heard too much of what he's done. He's in Holland, isn't he?
He's in Portugal.
Portugal. Okay, I'm getting them confused right now. But yeah, no, I'm a little bit surprised by that because I haven't heard about him much either way.
Well, I mean, obviously,
When are these friendlies, and are they going to be held over in Europe?
yeah, they're next week, starting next Friday. So yeah, that'll be in Europe, and they play Belgium next Friday, and then they play Poland, and both of those teams will be seeded in the upcoming World Cup. So I mean, you really can't get outside of playing Germany or England or France or Spain. I mean, as good as you can get as far as teams that are going to be in the World Cup. But you know what? I take it back. He is in Holland. I thought he was in Portugal, but he is in Holland. He's in he plays for Groningen.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're probably confusing getting that other guy confused. Who's I think at Firenze. And I'm trying to think of his name.
Well, he is killing it right now at the Eredivisie. He has one appearance all season. So
that's what I thought. I was like,
yeah.
I think he made an appearance.
He must have made a hell of an impression with his one appearance to get the call.
Profe.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Huh?
Profe.
Profe, ¿qué onda, profe?
Hey, what up, Yon? What up, Beto?
Hey, we were just singing your academy's praises just recently.
The Juan Uribe Academy?
I'm sorry?
The Juan Uribe Academy?
Yes. Yeah, the one that you started in Pachuca.
Yes. Oh, with Hans.
Yeah.
Actually, they dissed in that article. That guy dissed sort of the California, the U.S. player, saying Tom actually asked him, are you scouting the U.S.? And he sort of laughed. He's like, no, they're too much into malls and beaches, and they don't want to come to Pachuca. What he said, man.
So how windy was it in Pachuca, Juan, when you were there?
It was. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm pulling out of a parking lot. All right. Sorry, guys.
El Pollo Briseño, John.
Oh, see the guy that's in Portugal?
Yeah.
Hey, all right. I'm back, guys. Sorry.
Dude, do you need directions to go home?
No. I'm in this program with this really big company. We're and long story short, they make us validate the parking so we don't have to pay.
Okay, okay. Yada yada yada. I'm fearing for my life.
They call it the Bella Airiosa. So I mean, it is one of it's like the Mexican Windy City. Mexican Chicago. So
it was windy while you were there.
Yeah, you know what? It was windy and like it was sunny like for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden it gets cloudy, and then it's raining, and the weather there is a little bit unpredictable as far as how quickly it changes.
And were you so taken with having chilaquiles for breakfast every morning at the hotel that you have now it is now part of a balanced breakfast at the Uribe house Uribe household?
Well, let me tell you, John, that chilaquiles is one of my favorite meals, and
Dude, chilaquiles to me is a meal. It can be breakfast, it can be lunch, it can be dinner. You can have it at any time of day.
Exactly, but you know what? It was like at my house, I just asked, I asked them, hey, can you guys change up the chilaquiles? Like maybe make them today, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you?
I was gonna say sometimes you want some verdes, sometimes rojos, maybe some with mole.
Exactly. Sometimes with cheese and beans or rice.
The last time I stayed in Mexico City, this is embarrassing for me to say, but I feel like I know you guys well enough that I can confess this. I had chilaquiles delivered for room service. That's how lazy.
All right. No, that's the way to do it, man.
Wow.
That is pretty lazy. Pretty lazy, but it was well worth it. And It is one of the few meals that I will scrape the plate to get all of the food off. It's probably it's very, very good. But Juan, your Chivas, they've raised the white flag. They've thrown in the towel. It's over for Chivas for the rest of the year. They're just playing out the string. Joel has already said that not only will Almeida be fired, but the whole team is going to be put on transferibles list. They're going to have a limpia total.
I hope that doesn't happen, man. I hope. I mean, look, the players, the refuerzos, the so-called the $10 Big Macs that Chivas had been signing that weren't part of the cantera. They stepped up big for the tournament, and most of them, they spent the summer with Juan Carlos Osorio. So they didn't go through a preseason, so the slump was kind of
But they didn't add anybody, though, right?
Huh?
They didn't add anybody.
They didn't add anybody. I think they actually the transfers were actually they transferred out who was it Avion Calderon to Pumas.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that, by the way.
You blaming the Gold Cup for the Chivas fracaso?
I think it's definitely a factor. They got no preseason, so I mean they're basically using the first 3 or 4 jornadas as getting in shape and figuring everybody figuring each other out.
Chivas had extraneous circumstances that certainly added to the.
I'm just not sure. I'm trying to think of who. There was like a phrase that I heard someone put it, but like when you win, the worst thing you can do is not change anything.
That's as far as the lineup, supposedly. Equipo que gana, equipo que juega. O alineación que gana, alineación que repite.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as like once you've hit that pinnacle.
Chivas, don't make me laugh.
It's close.
You know what though? I mean, I do blame Matias Almeida with going with his rotation formula and not starting Clayton Kershaw. Game.
Hey.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
we've already covered that, man.
Yeah,
I don't want to relive it.
The Dyer talk has we had to put the kibosh on that. Dan was getting too sad. You could feel his hair being combed into the Morrissey peak as he was talking.
I might give up, I might turn vegetarian just because,
that's right.
I got nothing to live for.
Meat is murder.
That's right.
Meat is murder. Yes, exactly.
Oh no! Come on, Dan. Just belt out one of your famous songs with Bronco.
Is that a Cristian Castro reference? Yes.
Yeah, it's a big time.
For those listening, apparently I bear some resemblance to Cristian Castro. I personally I think I'm much more handsome.
It would be a great Halloween costume for me if you ever did that one year.
I don't know enough Mexicans though. I don't think I hang out with enough for them for
them to get it.
Yeah. they were like, because one year what I wanted to do is I wanted a bust Rigo Tovar. Like I was like, hey man, all I need is just a nice puffy wig, man, and just some shades, and I'll just an open collared shirt. Let this Indian chest hair shine. And
for on your chest and your head.
Well, because us people with the indigenous blood, it's not a full on coat. It's more sparse the hair. It's a look, man, and I really wanted to do it, but I was like, no one's gonna know who the hell that is. They're gonna think I'm Richard Ramirez.
Yeah. Oh shit. That would be good.
That's pretty funny.
So I reconsidered.
I haven't dressed up for Halloween in a long, long time. I think that my
I
last
hadn't.
Halloween costume, I was an Australian rules football referee.
How's their uniform different?
It wasn't
what is
different.
it?
I just wore a blue blazer with a white hat and pointed all night. That's all I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Someone asked me if I wanted a beer. Yes, you do point like very dramatically when the guys make their kicks.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, no, I was the Hulk. We were a superhero themed family this year.
Oh yeah. You were the Hulk.
The shortest Hulk.
And then we had who else
possibly
did we have?
ever.
Who else did we have?
We had a Supergirl,
Okay.
and we had Batman and Robin.
Excellent.
Nice.
So we had a.
Now, which Batman and Robin did you have? Like Adam West Batman and Robin, or did you have George Clooney and Chris O'Connell or O'Donnell Batman and Robin?
Kind of a hybrid. It's a hybrid. It was the colors of Adam West with the swollenness of like the modern suit.
Did
so it
Robin
had muscles.
have the red shirt and the green bloomers?
Yep, bright red and bright green.
Excellent. With yellow tights, right?
No, it was green.
Oh, the tights are green?
Well, on this costume they were.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how authentic it was.
Holy green tights, Batman! Sorry,
I'll still watch it, man. I'll still watch it. Yeah, I'll still.
Is it still on?
You can find it every once in a while, or even if it's just like Batman the movie, I'll still watch that. That's still pretty decent.
The Joker still creeps me out from that show. Cesar Romero.
Yeah, man. Was he Cuban American or is he just Cuban?
I can't remember, but he creeped me the F out when I was a kid.
The Joker?
Yeah.
I was a little bit partial to the Penguin, because Mickey.
That's right. Burgess Meredith was the Penguin.
So
I always thought
that was
when
kind of cool.
When they made the movies and they made Jim Carrey the Riddler, which was just terrible. It was just so over the top and awful. It would have been so much better if it would have been John Cleese. He would have been a perfect Riddler back then.
What's his face from Back to the Future? I think anytime you need someone to be a little bit on the weird side, he's always good.
Christopher Lloyd?
No.
Michael J. Fox?
Oh, Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover.
Oh,
No, I'm talking about
Hello, McFly.
his dad.
Yeah,
no.
Crispin Glover.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's a good weird one. Also from
Danny
Elfman is another good one.
Crispin Glover in Wild at Heart. Remember what that David Lynch movie? His little cameo where it was like My Cousin Eddie. Like he liked to keep cockroaches in his pocket. You see Crispin Glover like feeling up his pocket because apparently it's full of cockroaches. It just did some weird stuff.
Yeah. I think he would have been a better Riddler.
He would have been an excellent Riddler.
But anyhow.
That there is no doubt. So Juan, so you want Chivas to stay? You want Almeida to stay?
No, the thing is that the team. Okay, well they had a bad start of the season. They ended stronger. Aren't they mathematically still in the Liguilla?
Just stop right there.
I mean, it could happen, John. Right? It's possible.
It's possible. It's possible.
That it's like you're telling me
it's not possible.
I mean, if like the 100 combinations that have to happen hit just right. But we've seen stranger things. I mean, we saw one last month in October where crazy things happened and the U.S. ended up getting bounced from the World Cup. So, and I think even just last season there was some crazy way for America to lose out, and it ended up happening. So yeah, I mean, Chivas could absolutely, with some miracle, make the Liguilla. It would be a miracle, Juan, a miracle.
It's like I was arguing with Johnny Rico last night about the World Series guy, the World Series champion being called world champion because they haven't played Mexican teams or Japanese teams. Ridiculous.
Well, it's the World Series because last night, Americans, Venezuelans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and I don't know if they have any Mexicans, but they all they won the World Series last night. That is a very international team, the Astros.
Baseball in general, right? They got a bunch of Dominicans.
Yeah, people say, it's too bad. Why can't the Astros go play the Serie del Caribe, man? That would be fantastic.
Or the Japanese teams and
yeah.
stuff. But I just it would blow them away, like any Major League Baseball team.
I disagree. I disagree.
It's like the second division teams, man. Those players.
No. Yeah, but dude, I'm telling you, you send a team like the Astros down play the Serie del Caribe down to like Puerto Rico or something. I mean, one, they're not gonna, their pitchers are gonna be like 2 or 3 innings max because they don't want to waste, that stuff. But
the weather,
the game is just different. Yeah, it's a different game, and they will have to adapt. They will absolutely have to adapt.
You know the thing about baseball to me is the least athletic sport, like professional sport. I mean, look at the pictures; they all look like like they're scarfing down burgers.
The thing is, like golf.
They skip their workouts. Like
it's a little bit above golf, maybe.
They throw a ball and they're winded. They throw a ball like 20 times and they're winded.
I mean, they are standing or sitting for 95% of the time that they're.
Yeah, I don't think it's an athletic sport. Like, I don't think it requires athletic ability so much as it requires skill.
Hand-eye coordination is a hard thing.
Yeah, skill. It's a skill sport. I mean, that's what it's. I mean, there's a place for an athlete on a baseball team, but overall, that's not what gets you there.
Just kind of like
in that respect, I think it kind of does share that with soccer, where I think skill definitely
trumps athletic ability.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not as much though. The difference isn't as much. Also, in baseball, you can juice the ball, you can juice the player,
juice the bat.
Juice the bat.
That is, that is thing. That is one thing I will give that guy credit. I'll do it from Houston is that. I mean, typically speaking, it's not a small guy sport. It's not a little guy sport. It's not I mean, I went to Long Beach State and they had a pretty good baseball program. They've always had a good baseball program there, and the guys are massive, man. The players are huge.
They're like 6'4", 250, all of them.
Yeah, so like they look like football players, really. I mean, so the fact that this guy 5'6", I mean, is actually shorter than me.
That was one of my favorite bits of the whole World Series was after, I think it was game 2, and he came out and interviewed with Big Papi at the table, or they were standing, and then he.
Oh, it must have looked funny.
Oh, it was hilarious. He and Big Papi went back to back, and Big Papi's like, "You a foot and a half tall." It was pretty funny to see it, but he is one hell of a hitter. I mean, he is one hell of a hitter, and the Dodgers actually kind of kept him in check for he just got like huge hits when he just hit. It's a great team. Yeah, both teams are great teams. They're just
Dodgers will be back. They'll be back next year.
You're a Dodgers fan, Juan? I didn't know.
Well, growing up, I mean, I saw the Kirk Gibson hit his homer live. I saw them win against Oakland, and like they had like false positives where they remember they. I think
that's when I started following them.
If it was, they thought they would, they thought they won it, and they would step out. They stepped out of the dugout a couple times, like the whole team, and then they had to walk back in. Where's that?
Oh, I thought you were just talking about like, in generally speaking, as far as like. Because they had year, they went through like a string of years where they were just getting Rookie of the Year, and they always made the playoffs. But
that's when
that was about it.
Yeah, that's when like in the mid '90s they had the good pitchers.
Hideo Nomo. They had Hideo Nomo. I mean, they had
Hideo Nomo,
Piazza,
Hershiser.
Hershiser was a little bit before that.
That was the guy I remember. Geeky dude.
Well, Hideo Nomo had that awesome delivery.
Right.
Where, I mean, I still try to do that when I play baseball.
It made Fernando's look routine.
Yeah. he would, like, turn his body 180 degrees, almost like with his back toward the batter to do his windup. Really, really fun stuff. If anything, I thank the Japanese for that, for bringing that to baseball. That really cool, unique delivery style that I never seen anybody else do.
What's his name had an interesting one too. Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah.
The
sidearm delivery.
Sidearm real low.
Yeah, the sidearm. Yeah, man. The A's were the.
That was my team back then.
Me too, dude. I think we're all kind of the
rivalry.
same age. I think we're all big fans of McGuire and Canseco. I loved Canseco, man.
Canseco's the man, and then he made a fool out of himself later on. And then
no way.
his greatest moment was when the ball hit him in the head and went over for a home run. That was the old, and that was, of course, he was with the Rangers at the time when it happened. So it was just so.
That was a good memory.
Yeah, it was pretty.
He looked like he had such an odd body. Like he looked freakish, man. He didn't look like a baseball player. He looked like a bodybuilder.
Steroided out, man. That's all they were doing. Were taking steroids.
Yeah, but that dude, like, I think definitely, like, didn't want to leave any kind of room for doubt for anybody. It's like to make sure, like, just so you know, I'm completely juiced.
And then he boxed or he did some wrestling or something.
He tried a lot of different stuff. I think he did reality TV. But you know what though? For a moment, he was pretty awesome. I mean, he outshined McGuire. I think he was the main one of the two.
Well, McGuire
definitely the star.
He faded out though. No? Yeah, I think he was, and then he faded out, and McGuire sort of took over. Had the longer career, I guess, or something.
Yeah, when he went to St. Louis is when he really.
That's when he got all the major juice.
He started doing Andro.
Yeah.
He started rubbing in the clear, mixing it with the Deca, and the D-ball. Is that? Do the kids still use those drugs now? That was those were the steroids that were popular when I used to lift weights. I don't know if they're still doing this. Oh yeah, man. There was drug pushers at the Lakewood gym, dude.
Wow, dang.
Seriously?
What's up, man? Yeah, no, I'm being serious. It's like if they saw you working out for a while and like that you were into it, they're like, hey man, like, do you ever think about like, you know, you ever need a little extra help, or you know, if you want to help try to get your gains a little bit quicker? Like, no, I'm straight. Is that unusual? I thought it happened everywhere.
I
guess I never lifted weights, so I guess I wouldn't know. But
you got bitch tits?
I've had those since I was at least 40.
Oh, back knee isn't back knee. Another thing.
My tits come and go, Juan.
That's right, because you have a whole a whole wardrobe.
Yeah. So there's definitely some pictures from Cancun. My first trip with my now wife, our first trip to Mexico. Those pictures are pretty cringy. It's like no, I'm like, I got bigger chichis than you. Let's just bury some of these photos.
You know, just, what you gotta do is you gotta squat, man. That promotes the most.
That shrinks your tits? Squatting?
Muscles, no? Yeah, well, I mean, the leg exercises.
Oh, I got you.
Exercises, since the muscles are bigger, that promotes a lot of natural.
More fat loss, more calorie burning. I got you.
Squats and deadlifts.
Testosterone, you know?
Squats and deadlifts all day, dude.
Squats and deadlifts.
Every day.
Come on, man. You still do those? Bro? You still do those, Beto?
I haven't in a while, but yeah, squats and deadlifts, man, those are good.
Oh, fuck that, man.
Why not?
Why would anybody want to do that if they didn't have to?
Just to keep in shape, man. You gotta maintain.
Oh no, man.
Gotta maintain your body.
I don't know about. I'm with you about staying in shape and doing exercise, but deadlifts and squats, that's like.
Dude, don't you want to make Cristiano Ronaldo look like a little doughboy?
Well, you don't gotta go that far.
stand next to him.
You don't need to go that far, but you need to have like some strength to when you're old. You're not all like
Old man strength.
unable to do stuff.
It's just deadlifts and squats in particular, though, man. Those really make you want to throw up.
Well,
But it always made me want to throw up.
Yeah, don't go full weight. Like,
don't go crazy. Okay.
Don't go full weight on the first
No,
day.
man. The last time I worked out, and it's been like 7 years, it's because I was sore for about 10 days. And for about 5 of those days, I couldn't, like, I needed help getting dressed. So
nice. That was awesome.
Dan, did you help? Did you help in every aspect of your life at that time?
I was just hopping in the shower after every number 2, just because like I couldn't reach back there. I was like, I might as well just shower because I'm not gonna be able to get back there.
The ultimate bidet.
You should have.
And I'm sure anybody who's had a good back workout knows what I mean. Like you just can't get back there.
You should have jumped in up full with ice, man, and then taken a cold shower.
Yeah, and drink a lot of water.
That sounds awful. You guys are speaking a language I just have no idea what you guys are talking about.
That's why I'm retired, John. I've seen the light. I'm like, no.
What we're saying is that Chivas.
You make your 10-year-olds jump into the ice, coach.
You know what, dude? Yeah, I do. They do work out, but it's not that. It's like body weight exercises, like squats, push-ups, or actually
you don't make them do like 10 reps or 3 reps of 10 of burpees before every game.
Not before the games, but at the end of practice, they would do isometric holds mostly, but I would throw in like burpees, jumping jacks, just to vary, because they weren't still coordinated enough to do push-ups. They weren't strong enough, most of them. But yeah, dude, that's part of a balanced breakfast, man.
Yeah, do you
breakfast of champions?
Do you like your whistle? Is it a good whistle?
No, I don't use a whistle, man. I
Puro grito?
The natural whistle.
Oh,
not a mechanical one.
Ah. Well, this is fascinating stuff, Juana.
No kidding.
I'm appreciating this window into the. What do you call it? Your philosophy.
It's
I feel a bit coming. I'm gonna have to come up with an open for you, Juan. Like Profes tips or something. I'm gonna have to come up with something pretty good.
What's the guy from Dodgeball?
The Rip Torn. Yeah, I can't remember what his name is, but
Yo siempre digo que el fútbol algunas veces, en mi punto de vista, es como un ajedrez.
Is that how you start your conversations with the kids? It's just a chess match.
Exactly. By the way, La Volpe, he's broken down his salida La Volpe on YouTube. I'm sure. Is that you?
Are you subscribed to his channel?
Yeah, actually, I did subscribe.
Are you implementing any La Volpismo, or are you incorporating La Volpismo into your own coaching philosophy? Well, have you switched to a line of 5?
Well, no. I'm a little bit more flexible with the lineup. It just depends. It depends on the opposing team, how many forwards they field. So on that respect, I always try to keep an extra defender.
So this is more a la Osorio.
No, Bielsa actually. That's
okay.
More in line with him, because you notice Osorio, he's too calm. Like if you look at a Tuca Ferretti or a Bielsa or one of those guys, they're or even a Chepo. Motivationally wise, they're screaming at the players to get their shit together, on field.
Necessary for me to drink my own urine? Follow me.
Exactly. Patches.
So you're a ball buster type of coach then.
I think so, man. I mean,
you're like Capitan Furia, man. You are the Capitan Furia.
You sound kind of like a dick, to be honest with you. I'm just like as far as if I was a player, is like, you know, you appreciate your coaches and all, but you're talking a lot of shit behind his back.
Yeah, didn't you say you fought with a parent because you're yelling at their kid or something?
With a parent.
Or yeah, you offended a parent or made a parent upset because you're yelling at their kid.
Shit, I'm sure it happened. I don't recall the instance anymore. Let me see.
You were yelling at the kid.
He was banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. Players couldn't get a drink at the table. What's wrong with you?
Well, I already told you guys when I went over and watched him coach, and I was like, "Oh, he's yelling at him."
Really?
I was like,
and they're like they're like 6 years old, right, Juan? I mean, you're just really just if they're not crying, you're not doing your job.
No, the group Beto saw they were 12 and 13, but
okay.
Because the 6-year-olds are you know, they have a little bit more, you know, progress there. They're a little bit ahead as far as experience and understanding.
So you don't verbally abuse the 6-year-olds, but you do the 12, 13-year-olds.
No, the 6-year-olds too.
Oh, okay. So get them accustomed to it. That's good. Toughen them up.
Do you?
Yeah, you know, I mean,
I'm actually okay with.
Depends where they're at.
I'm actually kind of okay with being yelled at. I was yelled at in every sport I ever played. I just thought it was kind of normal.
Have you ever gone the full tuca with them?
No le voy a discutir con usted.
With the parents, yeah.
Really?
Y usted no me va a decir qué carajo tengo que hacer.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta understand these kids, like especially when they're 6 or whatever, they'll get distracted. And I was watching them. These are 12 or 13. They get distracted. They play around or joke around and lollygag and do all kinds of dumb stuff. When you're that age, you gotta be kept in check, man. You got an hour or however long to practice. You can't be messing around.
For those that don't know how Profe looks, man, I hear he scares easy, but he does have a bit of an intimidating look. I gotta admit.
What the?
He's got a tough look, man. He looks like he looks like a tough dude out there in the field when he's coaching. Like I wouldn't want to mess with him if I was an opposing coach. I'd be very respectful toward him.
You're not packing heat while you're coaching, are you, Profe?
Only when he's in Long Beach.
There was a game where you know there's cops that are coaches too, and this cop, he was, you know, he had his gun on his hip, man. He was like in full uniform with his gun. I don't know, man. That's
keep it in the truck, bro.
Yeah, you know.
That's
scary.
I mean, we practice safety here. You know, we put a lock on the gun, put it under the seat. You know.
Well, we would hope so. We would hope so that we practice gun safety.
The cop.
Yeah. Yeah, but that cop, actually parents complained that he was intimidating them.
Intimidating everybody. Intimidating the refs, the players, the opposing
Seriously,
players,
man.
the opposing coaches.
Seriously.
That's
I'm shocked that people would feel a little bit uncomfortable with an off-duty cop just walking around with his gun, coaching kids.
Well, he was in full uniform, so I think he was on duty. Actually, I think that's worse.
He was on duty?
You know what I mean? Yeah, he was on duty.
Oh my goodness!
He was duty.
That's a dedicated coach right there.
Maybe he was, yeah, or.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe that's how, you know. Can you imagine during practice and then you're hearing gunfire? You know, I mean, I guess that's got to toughen you up, right?
Hey, that's LA, man.
What about H-Town? That's not H-Town too?
Yeah.
They're not in H-Town though. They're in Austin. So I think they're a little bit more.
It's a little softer over here.
Yeah.
not as hardened.
We're a little pampered.
That's right.
So next time anybody wants to paint LA as some soft place, man, just remember this conversation.
Absolutely.
And we're just talking about 6-year-old youth soccer here. and that's what we're
Man.
dealing with.
But Ofa, you're a ball buster. I had no idea, man. It's I'm seeing you in a whole different light.
Well, I mean, dude, it's
See, now I feel bad making fun about Chivas with you because I think that you might take umbrage.
No.
So, but I've learned my lesson, man. Now that Pumas is going to be in relegation hell, I feel like karma is indeed a bitch, and I have learned my lesson. I'll be respectful to all fans of opposing teams that are in that mess from now on. But I do want to end the show. I was at the last night. There was an event here in town at one of the local watering establishments close to downtown. That was
is that
sponsored by a group like a fan supporters group for the possibility of this of Austin getting an MLS team from this ownership group that's with that owns the Columbus Crew are thinking very seriously about moving to Austin in a couple of years. And I mean, there's no stadium in place, so there's but a couple of things I think really stood out in that meeting. One, they're gonna go to the city council next week to talk to the city about passing a resolution that's going to allow them to start possibly discussing whether or not the city would be willing to sell some of its parkland. And that could be, if y'all are familiar with Austin, Austin has a park right next to the downtown area on the river, the Colorado River, or Lady Bird Lake, as we call it here.
Bird, is that Lindsey Johnson?
Yes, Lady Bird Johnson Lake. That's correct. It used to be called, it was Town Lake for years, but now it's Lady Bird Lake, but I still call it Town Lake because it's a habit. Anyway, so there's that. There's also some places over on the east of I-35, which has become more and more gentrified. And what they want to do is they want a location where they can get as many folks walking as they do coming in cars. So that to me says that they want to be as absolutely close to downtown where they can, and those are really kind of the two options, or those spots. And the other thing that he said, go ahead.
No, that's a good idea, man. That's what LAFC is doing out here in LA, and I think it's gonna fare better than like LA Galaxy's out in the
right
in the suburbs. You could say.
Yes, so and he also pointed out that that's what's happening in Seattle and also in Portland, where there's much more of a quote unquote walk up crowd. So so that stuck out. Then and the other thing that stuck out was what seemed like the biggest reason why they were going to leave Columbus. It has really nothing to do with their stadium or the fan support or like they actually have very decent fan support, and it just. I mean, I don't know how you feel, Cheekies, about this. I mean, obviously, it'd be nice to have an MLS team because it would be the only professional team that Austin would have in any sport. But I mean, I feel just really bad for the for the hardcore Crew fans because I mean that's it's like, But I mean, if it happens, it happens. I mean, it's not like we can control it or have any say in the outcome of what's going to happen. But it just seems weird.
Don't they still have DC United up there?
Well, in Washington.
That's Washington. The Crew is in Columbus.
Yeah, but anyway, but what this guy said, it was Dave Greeley. He's one of the principals of this ownership group, and he said that the thing that Columbus cannot offer them is corporate sponsor, and that's one thing that Austin has coming out of their. I mean, they have a lot of companies that are headquartered here. And the
one thing that I see if they do come to Austin is there's going to be a huge comparison by the Columbus dudes as to the fans that attend the stadium, the games and everything. And if it doesn't compare, there's going to be some.
Well, see, and that's the other thing is that somebody asked them that question. They said, "Hey, what's going to stop y'all from, going to the next pretty lady that you guys see? And he didn't answer it. That was when he actually deflected and started talking about why they were leaving Columbus. I mean, the way he was framing it was basically, yeah, Columbus, they don't have this and they don't have that. And the corporate sponsor thing was big because they want to have the sponsorship lined up so that way they can go ahead and secure the financing for the stadium.
Why don't they just buy a second team? I mean, is multi-propiedad really?
Well, the problem is because when new franchises come into MLS, you have to pay a franchise fee, and I think right now it's upwards of $150 million.
Oh,
so
it went
that's
up.
Why. It may be less. I'm not sure exactly what the number is, but I mean there was obviously a franchise fee involved.
Is that does CantinaMX have we saved up enough to buy MLS franchise?
We're close. We're close.
Oh, okay.
We're close. We just need a few more viewers to get us that magical sponsorship to put us over the top. But yes, so those are the two things so it seems to me then that there's probably about I would say about a 75% chance this is actually going to happen.
And then I heard San Antonio's getting upset because they got some passionate fans down there in San Antonio for that little team.
But that's the thing is that they shouldn't be getting upset because that to me is what MLS is lacking. Are those really good regional rivalries? I mean, and I'm sorry, but I mean, people say, well, you can't have 4 teams in Texas. Why the hell not? Texas is the second most populous state in the union. It seems like if any state's going to have multiple teams, why wouldn't it be Texas? And I don't know if you guys know about the demographics in Texas, but everything south from Austin down south is pretty solidly Hispanic. So, second largest state of the union with a large Hispanic population, it seems like MLS would want to have more than 2 teams, more than 3 teams in Texas. And an Austin San Antonio rivalry would be fantastic. So I don't think the San Antonio's out of the running at all, or at least they shouldn't be, just because of the proximity like that. I mean, that's if MLS wants to be where they want to be, those are the kind of things they have to cultivate.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I would be okay with it. I have my doubts as to the success, but closer an MLS team, the better.
Well, the other thing that would have to happen is if they did do this and they do them downtown and they have the whole bit, is they cannot in the summer, they cannot play games earlier than 8:00 at least because it's so hot. I mean, and no one wants to sit out there when it's 105 degrees, and I'm sure the players don't want to play when it's 105 degrees. So, yeah, exactly. So, I personally believe. And I'm sorry. I mean, if you're worried about TV, I mean the TVs people that are gonna watch are gonna watch whether it's on at 8 or 8:30 or 9, whatever it is. Just start them a little later in the summer. Just go to summer hours. The players will thank you. The fans will thank you. Austin's kind of a late arriving crowd anyway, so it would be those are the 2 things that I would do. So,
what if why don't they try like an air conditioned stadium? I forgot which NFL team.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of domed stadium. I mean, that to me would just be just an excessive, needless cost.
All right.
I mean, they got 100,000 seat stadium that's gonna be right down the road. That doesn't. I mean.
Oh, Cowboy Stadium.
No, the college stadium here.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah, yeah, 100,000 people. They haven't. It's been a while since they've had a sellout, but yeah, 100 and something thousand fans fitting it.
Nice.
Yeah. So, like I said, hopefully, hopefully for Austin fans it'll happen. I feel terrible for the Columbus Crew fans if their team goes away like that. I mean, it's just, but it's just, it's just a reinforcement that MLS is a very American league.
They probably the league will reserve the next expansion team for them.
The league has already trademarked 2 possible Austin names.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What are the names?
Oh, it's like Austin FC and some other one. I mean, but they did this before any of this news came about, so I don't think that this was like this had been done a while ago. And it turned out that they had a clause that they could move to, which honestly, some people think that it was probably their intention all along.
Yeah, maybe move to a bigger city once the league grows.
Yeah, and it's not that Columbus isn't a big city, but it's just unfortunate the way it's all playing out. But in the long run, if it turns out that we have MLS soccer in Austin, then it would be it would certainly be interesting. So, like I said, I'll give it about a 75% chance of it happening.
Interesting. Stay tuned.
Yeah, Chiquis and I'll have to get season passes, or maybe more.
Man, press passes.
We'll see how that plays out. Well, gentlemen, Profe, it was so nice to have you come on. We need to come up with a segment for you so that you can give us some of your coach talk.
All right.
We'll call it the Profe and Patches.
Yeah, there you go. Like a mix of Tuca with Tuca isms and La Volpe isms and some patches.
Patches. We'll throw some patches in there.
Dodge, duck, dip, and dodge.
That's right.
Hey, did you I guess one last question for you guys, because during the week, listening to the radio, one of the sports radios, and they were mentioning Coudet. He resigned from the Cholos post because they weren't paying the players. Did you guys aware of any of that stuff?
Yeah, we talked about it a little tonight.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll give it a listen then. But did he did quit and all that stuff's real?
Yeah, he's no longer the coach, but I thought that he'd gotten canned. I didn't realize that he that he left on his own.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard. He left on his own, defending the players that they didn't want to pay them, and I guess he brought a bunch of them over. And maybe there's somebody from Argentina approached him to manage there, and so kind of that was that's why he forced an ultimatum.
I didn't hear that. I thought he was canned also, and then Jurgen is rumored to come in. Rumored.
Jurgen Klinsmann?
Yeah, to come into Cholos.
You know what? That would make perfect sense, since it's freaking Cholos USA.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He'd take a helicopter down from LA or wherever he's at, from LA to Tijuana.
I heard he lives in Newport Beach, so I think he's pretty close to Dan.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No, so they mutually ended their working relationship as of this Monday, according to their release.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Newport Beach is still closer to Long Beach. That's Orange County. I'm not claiming him. I'm not claiming Orange County.
You're not claiming Jurgen?
No.
So Juan, is that?
I don't know anybody from Newport Beach. I mean, that's pretty exclusive territory. I'm way too much of a commoner.
Yeah. Kobe, Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not on his level either. They're part of an elite group. I wouldn't know what to do in Newport Beach.
You know what it is, John. Those people in Newport Beach, they don't know the glory of chilaquiles. I think that's what
they don't.
That's what Dan is saying.
Eggs Benedict, probably.
They're vegan.
I'll be in Puerto Vallarta in a couple of weeks, so I will report on the amount of chilaquiles that I have. Although we're staying at a house, so
nice.
I have to make my own chilaquiles. But
do you know how to make them? Do you have a good recipe?
Of course. Yeah, I do have a good recipe, actually.
All right, we'll have to share that with offline.
Yeah, it's
posted on your Pinterest.
Put it on the show notes, man. Maybe the listeners,
maybe we should cover it on air. Yeah. I mean, we covered baseball. We covered we covered just about everything today.
Yeah, I like chilaquiles when you like fry your own tortillas.
Get them nice and crispy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good, man.
Then we fresh chopped onions on top, with cheese.
Yeah,
onions and cheese.
I like cooked and fresh.
And then yeah, either way. And then the black beans
Both.
and the crema mexicana.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
So whenever I get chilaquiles here, they give me the bite. I just mix it all up, put the cream on top, and just go to town.
You had your own
cream.
You guys
Yeah.
eat them with a flour?
Yeah.
Or because I like to eat them with flour tortillas, man.
What the hell is wrong with you?
What the hell is wrong with you?
¡Cállese, carajo!
You eat tortillas with tortillas?
Oh.
Yes. Corn tortillas, flour tortillas.
You know what that is? That is the worst abomination I've heard since the double decker taco at Taco Bell.
That's like
we gotta make a poll.
Wait,
on this.
whoa.
See how many people actually do this?
That's
I
like
don't think I'm the only one.
I went to San Jose and I had some tacos al pastor with.
I'm sorry, Chiquis.
With pinto beans, man.
Oh.
Like, what the heck is this?
Man, what have you Callies done to our treasure?
I've actually had the beans offered as a condiment to the taco in Mexico.
Yeah.
In Tijuana.
So that's not a California.
No, I mean that's one thing.
I was told it was a Tijuana thing.
I don't know, maybe, but
no,
I have had them in Rosarito where I forget they have like the special taco, I guess, like the with everything on it, and that one does include beans.
Double tortilla, but that's not as egregious as the double tortilla.
I just think that's just like that's a serious fat move. like a gluttonous move. Like it's like I'm gonna have a double cheeseburger, but I'm also gonna have but another double cheeseburger on the side.
Instead of buns, I'm gonna have 2 other pieces of meat to make the bun to replace the buns.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually really good.
Double big cheeseburger and then bacon cheese fries.
It's like the old Good Morning burger on The Simpsons. You remember the Good Morning burger?
Man, that's crazy, Juan. That can't be healthy.
It's delicious, man. What can I say?
Wow. I've never heard of anybody even attempting that, dude. You should talk to Taco Bell, dude.
Here you go.
18 ounces of ground beef and soak it in rich creamery butter. Then we top it off with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. We call it the Good Morning Burger.
Why does she make it sound sexual? That's so awful.
It's a commercial.
It's disgusting.
The Good Morning Burger.
The sad thing is, I think people do get excited about their breakfast sandwich like that.
You know, Juan, all the Q points that you earned today for your tough image as the profe, the hard edge coach. Now we find out you do the double tortilla. Wow.
Yeah, you mix in the gringo tortilla too.
Next thing you're gonna tell us, you keep your tequila in the freezer.
Wait, you put a corn tortilla inside a flour tortilla, right? A corn tortilla chilaquil with a flour tortilla, right? Is that what you?
I'm picturing him, the tearing style, tearing strips of the flour, and grabbing clumps
and
of
making
chilaquil
sopitas,
with egg,
eating it like Ethiopian food.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never heard it described like that, but that's how I eat. So, but that's my preferred way of eating tortillas. But is that how you do it, Juan?
Yep. Like you ever eat the beans with tortillas?
Yeah, of course. You grab a little piece and a mouthful.
Yeah, like a little sopito.
Yeah.
See, I just make a taco. I make a taco out of everything, but I don't make tacos out of tortillas. Weird.
Right.
When I was in
taco out of spaghetti.
When I was in Cancun, I was
What?
I never. Yeah, that's pretty gross too, though, John. I think that's actually worse than what Juan just said. Maybe you could explain to the listeners what the hell is Texas spaghetti, or what is it?
Texas toast? Texas
No,
spaghetti?
no, no. Yeah, something with what's that meat in a can?
Chili?
Man, dude, there's like some concoction that I heard. I heard it on Big Soccer. Someone mentioned it. It sounded disgusting. Where it's like some kind of meat product, and they call it like Texas like
two-step
or something, or southern like spaghetti, but it's basically like some kind of pasta with some kind of chili product. Like
I don't
pasta
know.
and
I'm
chili.
gonna have to plead ignorance on that. I have no idea.
All right, I'm gonna come up. I'll sort out the name and I'll ask you about it. But I heard about it and it's just sounded rough, man. I was like, man, dude.
But
I'm
for the
like, this
record,
is-
my spaghetti in the tortilla days, that was what I used to do as a kid. So that was, you know.
I bet you could probably open up a restaurant in Texas and serve that, and you'd do all right.
I will say though that my spaghetti the day after tastes 1,000 times better than the day I cooked it.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
the old spaghetti.
At least mine does taste better the next day, for sure.
It's if I ever did open a restaurant, that would be what I would call my spaghetti. Was yesterday's spaghetti.
Yesterday's. Oh, okay.
You wouldn't pass inspection.
Probably not.
You'd be perfect for was it Waco Loco?
That's right.
Because they claim fresh, but I don't know.
They make it in New York City.
That's right.
I mean, how fresh could it be if you're touting guacamole?
Oh, he
in
says
Philadelphia.
Oh.
Well,
as long as you get
if you get the aguacate, then you're all right. You're just getting the aguacate.
I know, but how fresh is the avocado, though? Really, how fresh is it? I mean,
but that's the thing about
San
avocado,
Diego.
though. That's the thing about avocado, though, is that it's either fresh or it's not. I mean, there's, the thing that I can't deal with is around here they always put like sour cream or some sort of, cream product to mix it in. So it's like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was watching my sister-in-law make.
That's disgusting.
I was like, "What are you doing?" So what do you mean? I said, just stop, because she was getting ready to mix it all. I said no, and I said, it's just this, and I just made her some, and I said, that's all you need to do. You don't have to put any of this other stuff in there. Just enough.
And they eat it a lot differently over here. I guess like the way I like it better is the way they kind of serve it with the tacos in TJ, where it's just basically it's a smear of avocado, really.
Right.
That's all it is. It's not. Doesn't have tomato. Doesn't have anything in it. It's just basically mashed up avocado smeared on a tortilla with all the rest of with the meat. Just a real simple. It's not a huge production.
Oh man, I cannot tell you how much I'm looking
getting
forward
hungry
to going to there's a taqueria that I want to hit in PV. It just sounds outstanding. I can't wait.
I might hit up TJ Tacos tomorrow. TJ Tacos is a local eatery here in Escondido, and it's really neat. It's a I think it's about as authentic as you're going to find in most places. They have like different stations of different meats being prepared, like these huge vats,
right,
of stuff just boiling.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So you get your like, what is it, suadera and al pastor. Lengua,
When I was when I first graduated, you guys been to Taco? Have you heard of Taco Cabana? I know Chiquis has.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't.
So it's like a fast food place, but a little more upscale from Taco Bell. And the way they used to do all their food was kind of what you're talking about. They had like these little vats like right in front. So like you'd get the order, and the little lady would make the taco like right in front of you, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Because she had all the ingredients in front of her, everything, all the, the tortillas, the meat, the seasonings, the condiments, everything. My buddy went and got like an extra large drink there, and was watching him make thing, and he was totally wasted, just gone. He knocks over this gigantic drink all over the entirety of their prep station. Oof. Like on a Friday night at 9, when the place is just absolutely packed.
So he just like ruined all the condiments.
Yeah, it ruined everything. I mean, everything. It was the most painfully funny, sad things I'd ever said. I couldn't stop. I had to leave. I obviously had to leave the restaurant.
Of course, yeah. I
The
hope
next
you-
day we go back, and the kitchen folk recognize him. Goes, he was the one. Ahí está. It was so funny.
Ese fue el güey.
Exactly. Oh, it was so funny. Yeah, so that was but just the fact that it was one of those like 72-ounce drinks. It was just this huge drink, just all over. It went into every single one of those little bins, everywhere. It was.
How did he? What did he do? Just said sorry and.
Yeah, he said sorry, and he just walked. But I mean, like everything they had was just totally fucked up, and they had to just replace everything. Pardon my language.
Yeah, you made him waste a bunch of money.
Yes, that's exactly right. All right, we should probably wrap it up. It's
So what'd you guys do the next day, John? Before you wrap up the show, I'm curious. Did you guys try to make it right? Did you guys offer to wash dishes? Did you kick him down with
me
some
personally,
cash?
I didn't do anything because it wasn't mine. But he just, I don't think, he did, honestly, now that I think about it. So
You just went the next day to get tacos.
Yeah, exactly. I was hungry because it was like half a block down.
I thought you guys weren't there like sheepishly, walking in. It's like sorry.
He may have been. I mean, again, I was only a witness to this incident. I wasn't a participant.
Yeah, but you're guilty by association.
Well,
I mean, that's the way these things work.
I suppose this was also like 25 years ago, so I have to admit I don't feel too terrible about it. But I'm sure. I mean, I was like 21 years old at the time. I'm sure I was probably being a real jerk about the whole thing.
Yeah,
is my estimation of what happened. But anyway,
all right.
So we spent the last hour talking about everything but soccer. That was
it happens.
Excellent. Yeah, it does. No, it was a good show. I really appreciate y'all coming on. Chiquis, thanks so much for hooking us up as always.
Yep. Have a good evening.
Profe, thanks for hopping on. Hopefully you think we're gonna have a Christmas miracle Chivas in the Liguilla, right?
That cricket.
Crickets from the profe. I guess that can only mean that that is not that's not gonna happen. Dan, thank you very much. Sorry about your Dodgers, but I don't think that this is the last time that they're going to be in the World Series over the next couple of years. So I think that you guys will be okay. And I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. My name is John Jagu. Thank you guys for joining us here in the CantinaMX podcast. Appreciate it. Every Thursday night, as you do, live on YouTube. And of course, you can listen to this in our previous editions of the podcast on iTunes and, of course, on Google Play. Thank you guys very much. We will talk to you guys again.